Today we're taking a look at the Milwaukee Bucks vs Brooklyn Nets match, which is happening on Tuesday, June 15, 2021, and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. The Milwaukee Bucks even up their series with the Nets on Sunday, scoring an easy 107-96 win at home. It helped that Kyrie Irving went down midway through the second quarter with a turned ankle and was out for the game. He is questionable for Game 5, but the truth is the game was close at the time and the Bucks had figured some things out in terms of defending the Nets. One underrated midseason move that I believed would pay dividends was the Bucks' acquisition of PJ Tucker. Tucker, a defensive specialist who can guard all 5 positions, is crucial in containing the Nets' superstars. Where he lacks in height, 6'5", he makes up for with strength, physicality and basketball IQ. Tucker did an admirable job of limiting Durant in Game 4 with his aggressive defense. However, Tucker and the Bucks were the beneficiary of favorable officiating, with the referees swallowing their whistles and letting physical play pass. I don't expect the officials will allow Tucker to continue to hack Durant as he did in Game 4 back in Brooklyn, which could lead the Bucks' go-to defender into early foul trouble, potentially giving the Nets an early advantage. The Bucks only shot 44% from the field, but they held Brooklyn, the league's highest scoring team, to just 43% shooting. They also had 10 steals and turned Brooklyn over 17 times. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 34 points and 12 rebounds, while Chris Middleton added 19 points and 8 assists. Jrue Holiday added 14 points while PJ Tucker chipped in with 13 points. Brook Lopez had 7 points and 11 rebounds. The Brooklyn Nets got dealt some really bad news on Sunday. Not only did they lose and see the series get tied up at 2 games apiece, but they lost Kyrie Irving to an ankle injury. Irving left in the second quarter and is questionable for Tuesday's game. James Harden is also questionable as he has been out with a hamstring injury. There's a good chance that both don't play in Game 5. The Nets are in trouble, but I wouldn't completely write them off yet. Since the beginning of April, the Nets have been fantastic at home, boasting a 14-2 SU record while going 12-3-1, 80% ATS, per the STQL database. I expect Brooklyn's offense will look much improved with some home cooking after dealing with a hostile playoff crowd in Milwaukee. The spotlight will be on Durant to see if he can be the man and lead his team to victory without Harden and Irving. I expect him to return to form and have a lot of success against the much shorter Tucker. It's kind of surprising this line isn't steeper than what it is. Kyrie has already been ruled out and I highly doubt Harden returns given his constant hamstring issues this season. As good as Durant is, he's only one guy and not capable of doing everything himself. The Bucks' defense will load up on Durant and force the rest of the Nets to find offense. The Bucks also have their swagger back from the 3-point line. Injuries have created an opening for the Bucks to make their second conference final in 3 years. The Bucks do not defend the 3-point shot well, but the Nets were not able to capitalize in Games 3 and 4. Brooklyn went cold and was a combined 18 for 65, 27.7% from behind the arc, a stark contrast to its Game 1 and 2 output. So it could very well be on Kevin Durant and his cast of role players. Durant led the Nets with 28 points and 13 rebounds on Sunday, but he didn't get much help. Irving had 11 points before he left the game, and no one else was in double figures. The Nets shot just 43% from the floor and only made 10 three-pointers. Someone will have to STP up in Game 5, particularly if neither Irving or Harden play. Giannis Antetokounmpo had a brilliant Game 4, scoring 34 points off 14 for 26 shooting. He was more aggressive in transition and often found his way into the paint, where he was able to score at ease against the Nets' poor interior defense. However, Antetokounmpo still finds himself in love with the three-pointer and takes more than he should, which is 0 of them. My betting advice for that game is to pick Milwaukee Bucks -3. The Bucks' offense, despite the 2 wins at home, still hasn't looked sharp in this series. Milwaukee was only able to take care of business in Games 3 and 4 mainly because of Brooklyn's ineptitude to score. The Bucks simply don't play as well on the road. They're only 22-18 straight up, SU, and 16-23-1, 41% against the spread, ATS, on the road this season, for the Sports Data Query Language Database. The Milwaukee Bucks are averaging 107.5 points on 44.8% shooting and allowing 101.4 points on 42.1% shooting. Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 26.6 points and 13.5 rebounds, while Chris Middleton is averaging 21.3 points and 3.9 assists. Drew Holiday is the third double-digit scorer and Brook Lopez is grabbing 7.5 rebounds. The Milwaukee Bucks are shooting 30% from beyond the arc and 68.6% from the free throw line. The Milwaukee Bucks are allowing 35.3% shooting from deep and are grabbing 54.5 rebounds per game. Look back to Games 1 and 2 in Brooklyn to see how terrible the Bucks were. While the majority of bettors pile their bets on Milwaukee, you have to wonder if you can really trust it to cover by margin. The Nets role players will need to step up. Only 2 Brooklyn players scored in double figures in Game 4, and one of them was Irving. The team was discombobulated from losing the star guard and was not able to recover after his injury. With a day to rest, regroup and prepare for life without Irving, expect better production from the Nets role players on their home court. The Brooklyn Nets are averaging 115.1 points on 47.3% shooting and allowing 105.2 points on 43.2% shooting. Kevin Durant is averaging 31.3 points and 3.8 assists, while James Harden is averaging 23.2 points and 6.2 rebounds. Kyrie Irving is the third double-digit scorer and Joe Harris is dishing 1.8 assists. The Brooklyn Nets are shooting 40% from beyond the arc and 89.4% from the free throw line. The Brooklyn Nets are allowing 31.4% shooting from deep and are grabbing 43.3 rebounds per game. Harris shot 47.5% from behind the arc this season and 49.7% in home games. Expect him to have a bounce-back game after 2 consecutive off-shooting games. The Nets will also need a strong performance from Jeff Green, who returned to the lineup in Game 3 after missing 6 games with a foot injury. After shaking off some rust, I think his ability to defend multiple positions can be a difference maker. Teams off 2 consecutive playoff games in which they scored at least 19 points below their season average have gone 19-3 ATS for the SDQL database. This is active as a play on the Nets. Teams in this situation usually see some positive regression to their offense after 2 uncharacteristic low-scoring performances. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.